Chapter 1020. You are listening at FameTV.info. With the buzzing sound of the Strategic World Teleportation Array, a large amount of strategic materials were sent from the world of wizards to the world of hellfire. It worked. After Green murmured, he glanced at Xiao Ba, who was smoking the World/S special Netherfire cigarette on his shoulder. The deepest memory was Bissell City, and the smell of smoke was always lingering on Oldham, which became the most vivid memory of Green/S childhood. Minghua World cigarettes is a mild attribute of Yin Qi bred by the rules of this World/S veins, and the smoke material is gathered. After being ignited with flames, it will produce a light magic mist, which is very easy to produce a sense of pleasure. It is a special resource of this world. Wow, quack, quack, would you like some, too? As he said that, Xiaoba opened the dimension gap while swallowing the clouds, and took out a large Minghua cigarette, which was rejected by Green. Chichikajiji, it seems that you have prepared well for such a large altar. The rainbow potion mouse timidly appeared beside Green. Every time it appeared, both Green and Xiaoba couldn't help but look at the rag bag behind him. God knows how many things are hidden inside. Baby. What the rainbow potion stigmata wizard refers to is the underworld fire altar that Green has devoted all his efforts to build over the past 10 years. Although this large altar with a diameter of 1,000 meters is relatively simple, there is no quality problem, but in terms of specifications, it is indeed of a very high standard. Want Arc Thundercloud, Holy Grail of Flame, and Will-Eyed also brought detection evaluations from 3 routes. Whether it is passing through scattered and small-scale void meteorite mining areas, or passing through void storm void creature gathering areas, or interspersed with world fragments, it will not be absolutely safe, and each has its own advantages and disadvantages. Stop playing. Since smoking Minghua cigarettes, these ghosts of Minghua are no longer afraid of Xiaoba/S powerful soul breath. Xiaoba, who was squinting and smoking a cigarette, kept teasing the ghosts of the ghost fire who gathered around him curiously. After being reprimanded impatiently by Green, he drove these ghosts of the fire away. Peking University is relatively cold. The towering mountains in the south are continuous, blocking the cold air from the hot wind, and occasionally some special cold crystal fires will be born. Among the mechanical puppets in the World Teleportation Array responsible for transporting materials, a Queen-level mechanical puppet stepped out. A man as strong as a giant ape, he took out a leather scroll with his rough hands. Fire ingredients are 6 small worlds 50 years old, ice attribute ingredients are 6 small worlds 50 years old, mild ingredients are 200 years old in a medium sized world, and energy crystals of various attributes are equivalent to 3 small worlds for 100 years. 700 million slave legions, 20,000 building materials for Guangling Castle, 3,000 mechanical bees, 6,000 space airships, 20 space fortresses, 20 million mechanical puppets, 10 million witch hunters, 50 million esoteric wizards, curse a series of material lists. The quantity is unbelievably huge. But it was just a one-time mission for Green and his team. For the astonishing supplies of the Stigmata Wizard, for the true spirit, they are just normal consumption, and the losses after a battle are just replenished. In the battle of civilizations, newcomers replace the old ones, continuously replenishing the consumption of the real wizards who are constantly fighting, maintaining the total number of frontlines of the huge wizard army, and after rounds of washing, surviving the entire battle of civilizations requires not only strong strength, more need the favor of fate. Otherwise, there might be a master somewhere. With a random strike, you will be completely wiped out. Everyone respects the Stigmata Wizard, please check and confirm the supplies, and complete the task handover. The mechanical puppet said. Submitting the task scroll to the Arc Thundercloud Stigmata Wizard, the lightning shrouded wizard glanced briefly, nodded, and said in a low voice, "Okay." As he said that, after Arc Thunder Cloud Stigmata Wizard handed over the counting task to many trusted wizards present, the trusted wizards began to quickly count the supplies, and many Stigmata wizards raised their heads together. 20 blood-colored full moons hung high in the sky, and these wizard legions not led by the Stigmata wizards were also classified as supplies by the mission. Let us go and count the supplies above. Saying that, the Stigmata wizard of the Holy Grail of the Flame and the Stigmata wizard of the Horse Song flew to the sky together, and disappeared without a trace in the blink of an eye. Surrounded by many misty-souled devouring crabs, surrounded by colorful runes, Green leaned on the extreme abyss magic staff, and walked step by step towards the large container material delivery platform of the teleportation array. Next, the super magician with a little ancient charm and dust in the container was cut into a neat cuboid and placed neatly. It seems that it has been dusted for a long time, and its purity is more than double that of the top-grade sorcerer/S stone that is generally popular in the wizarding world. It doesn't/T matter. It must have been saved by those old guys after the War of the Ancients. In order to escape, those old guys used up all the energy crystals in the wizarding world, and there was not even a hair left. Xiao Ba hummed. If you can obtain the energy enrichment block production technology of the Metal Destroyer civilization, and use it as a true offering, Green realized foresight that in this battle of civilizations, the will of the wizards can defeat Skynet and absorb the knowledge of the essence of the Metal Destroyer civilization. Among them, the most important thing for the Wizards Union will be the energy block production technology. In race wars, changing the potential of the race is the highest loot, and the second is the energy use method of the qualitative change of the generation difference. So far, in the two civilized wars that the wizarding world has experienced, they have gained better absorption of energy utilization methods, and their potential has become stronger and stronger. They can easily conquer half of today/S world communities as remnants of defeated soldiers and fugitives. It has to be said that in terms of potential, the wizard civilization with a longer history and failure experience has more potential than the Metal Destroyer at this time. Quack quack, let/S talk about winning the war first. As long as the war can be won, it is almost easy for the top Stigmata wizards to advance to the true spirit compared with peacetime. This time, I reckon that those mechanical wizards may to reappear the glory. After all, how do you look at it after this civilization war? The ones who benefit the most from absorbing the knowledge of the Metal Destroyer are those mechanical wizards. Xiaoba has a more intuitive understanding of the tragic war of civilizations. For wizards born in this era, even survival has become a harsh test and a choice of fate. If they can survive it. Green sighed and looked around the vast land in all directions, waiting for the Wizard Legion and Slave Legion. The wizard was full of will, as if it was a silent call, and everyone began to call in all directions. It/S time to face the battle of civilizations. Call out. Call out. The Stigmata wizard of the Flame Chalice and the Stigmata wizard of the Horse Song fell one after another, and said in a low voice. No problem. The other trusted wizards who were responsible for counting the supplies also nodded and said in a low voice. No problem. At the end of the handover ceremony, the Arc Thunder Cloud Stigmata wizard signed the mission scroll, and other Stigmata wizards followed suit. In this way, the task of delivering supplies to the 7-ring True Spirit Wizard in the ancient dragon world within 10 years was officially established. To be continued. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.